Ready? I think I'm on.
Ready to roll.
Cool. Hi, everybody. I'm Dr. Tony Rump with LostCreekChiroDrTonyRump Wellness. And today I'm here with Debra Atkinson. Hi, Debra. Welcome.
Hey, how are you?
Super. Thanks
Happy New Year, right?
Yeah, Happy New Year. Yeah, this is a good time of year. You look like you're ready to go out and exercise. And
I'm ready to stay in and exercise, but yes.
Yeah, you got plenty of snow?
We got a little, for sure. It's beautiful, yeah.
Yeah, we have some coming too. So tell us a little about yourself. Tell us who you are and how you got to where you're at.
Well, I, as you know, am flipping 50. So
Yes.
the you still got it, girl, I like to say. So, I've been in fitness for 34 years. Love it. And really love the women who are in midlife, who are struggling a little bit, who have so many gifts to share, and yet haven't quite figured out hormones change the game and how do they win again. So it's been such an honor these last 5 years. I realized that February 1st is like an anniversary for me. I moved to Boulder in a midlife crisis. We can talk about that if you want to. And, I'm so glad I did. Now that it's over, and I'm through the other side, I've grown in so many ways I wouldn't have. And so I spend my days really talking about testosterone, progesterone, growth hormone, melatonin, and, all the juicy stuff that that's what keeps me awake at night. Yeah, for sure. Right.
So like, I was doing some research and you're talking about vitality as you flip 50. Yeah. So what are some of the, how you ended up on this, on my Facebook Live? I've been sharing your YouTube videos with my client base, and of course they love them. And I said, well, I want to reach out and see if you'd like to have that discussion.
How nice.
Yeah. I mean, you really hit them out of the park. So I want people to know who you are and how nice of a person you really are. And
thanks.
Yeah. And then, so how do you, as you age, how do you continue to keep your vitality?
It's backwards. That's the problem, and I think we're a unique generation. And I say I think we're close, aren't we?
I'm way older than you. Gray hair.
Yeah, right. You have gray hair. You think I don't have gray hair. You would be wrong, but
teenagers.
For sure. Oh yeah. It gets worse. Let me tell you, it doesn't get better.
Yes,
but,
I
we
know.
were raised by those generations of the harder you work, the better results you're going to get, and we listened. And that unfortunately can backfire on a woman going through menopause, perimenopause, and even postmenopause, depending. It happens in layers to all of us in a kind of a different way, but it can hit you at any time. And we often have to back off in order to have the energy and vitality we used to, even if we love exercise. So it's
backing off of the exercise program.
Exactly.
Wow. What a concept. Yeah. Go on.
Yes, totally a concept. And for some women, that's a relief. It's like, whew, okay, I can put that down. I don't have to feel so guilty because I'm not doing it anyway. But for a lot of women, it's tough. And I'm one of those women. I love exercise. I loved endurance exercise. I did 5 marathons. I've done 7 Ironman distance triathlons. And, that is not the prescription I give anybody else anymore, although I do believe in what I call the joy factor, and so, holding me or another woman who loves endurance back, if she really loves it, that's not quite the right thing. We just have to find the sweet spot. And yet telling somebody else you need to go to a boot camp or a CrossFit or do intervals all the time would be totally wrong for somebody else. So it's listening to signs and symptoms to read what's that telling you. And women need a little help doing that because we've cared for so many other people for so long that it's really hard to slow down and say, okay, I've got to do what's best for me. And here it is.
That is tough. I noticed that in my office and in my own life with my wife. It's second. She actually had the grandkids over today because they were sick, and I guess that's what you do. So always put yourself second. So backing off exercise still can get you to lose the belly fat and tone up.
We've always thought, we grew up thinking it's calories in, calories out.
Yes.
So I've got to eat less and I've got to exercise more. And if at the end of the day, if the math is right, it'll all work out. Well, it doesn't really work like that. We always thought about the cardiovascular system and the skeletal system, worried about our bones and our muscles, but we had forgotten about the endocrine system and how much that plays a part in whether you can burn fat or whether you store fat. So when you go through perimenopause and beyond, you can't ignore that anymore, because it's like something was whispering to you. Well, all of a sudden she's screaming, right? It's not fun anymore. Yeah.
So how do you handle that? Is it a nutritional program? Is it, what is your process for that?
Yeah, good point.
Give us the home run.
The book I first wrote for my audience, my Flipping 50 tribe, is You Still Got It, Girl, the After 50 Fitness Formula. And there are really 7 chapters. And exercise, of course, was one, but nutrition is something we all have to pay attention to, because, I don't know about you, but I ate a lot more times today than I exercised today. So if we don't get that one right, we're going to be in trouble. And it is the thing that either gives you the exercise energy and desire to do it, or sweeps it away, makes you feel not so good. And then it refuels and helps recover. And that piece kind of goes with the self-care for women. We sometimes forget when we get into, well, this month is a perfect example. A lot of people are like trying to do a streak, maybe of 30 days. And that may or may not be the best thing for your body if the last 3 months there was no streak, right? So a few days would be probably better, little rest, and then let's go again. But we don't pace ourselves well. So it's all about nutrition, exercise, sleep, the ultimate queen of rest and recovery, as well as just rest between exercise. And then it's, how does that come into play with hormones? What are they telling you? And what does the exercise do to the hormones? Because they're influenced and they influence exercise both. So it's a piece of everything for sure.
So is it one size fits all, or like, how do people get a hold of you and find out how to work with you?
Great question. So you set me up. No, it's not a one size fits all. Thank you very much. But flipping50.com, it's all words spelled out, no spaces, is the best place. And there's so many resources there.
Yes,
depending, because if you're a woman listening, you probably already have this intuition about the thing that you need first that'll help the other things fall into place. If you love exercise, but you feel like you're not getting that right, exercise is probably a catalyst for you making better nutrition choices and getting better sleep and dealing with stress better. So that may be that's my focus. If I get that right, I'll get the rest right. So you can search for the blogs or the podcasts that are dedicated to how do I exercise for me right now? Or, if it's nutrition, nutrition is such a black hole right now, isn't it?
Yes.
I mean, there's always been a different diet to follow. There's always been conflicting information, but I think potentially because here we are, we have so much access to it that it's overwhelming. And what a human with too many decisions does is nothing, right?
Which is a decision.
Yes, it's true.
Yeah.
So true. So whether it's that, or whether you can say, well, sleep would be nice, but I'm just not sleeping. There are things you can do. There are ways you can control the type and the timing of the exercise and the nutrition to get the sleep that you want. So, depending on where you need to start, what is the biggest problem you've got right now? There's probably an easy step or toe in the water, so you can find a little bit of help at Flipping 50.
So I just noticed that you had a start here first video.
Yeah.
And yes. So I've been like filtering people there, like watch that video and see, because self-help is the thing. I mean, that is really what people want and thrive on, and what a resource. You're right. You have a ton of resources.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm a content queen, I think,
Yeah.
right?
Yes. Which is good. It's a lot of work went into that.
It is, and it's every time you think about an idea, you think about a different person, or I do. I'm sure you do this when you write.
Yes.
If you can imagine actually the one client or patient in your case that you're talking to, you realize that saying it to that person so that they understand it and it makes sense to them is different than you might give the same information, but saying it in a different way may not resonate. So it's always trying to find that what words would help you understand this.
Sweet. Cool. So you wrote several books. Is that correct? Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
So what was your latest? And
Somebody even read them. Yeah. Once or twice.
I haven't. Sorry.
I know. It's all right.
I'm not your target, though, I don't think.
I don't think my mom read them either. But so.
I don't know about that, but my mom didn't either. So, but they can get them on your website, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
So how many did you write?
Well, for my Flipping 50 tribe right here we're talking to, I've written 3.
Nice.
So fun titles. So the last 2 are probably the most fun. You Still Got It, Girl, and Hot Not Bothered, are the main titles. Yeah.
So is that sun? I mean, you have sun?
It is. I'm sorry about that. I'm kind of sitting in it, but
I just love seeing the sun. We haven't seen it for a while. It's like,
oh, you're kidding.
No, yeah. We're in the Great Lakes region. We about from October till March, we don't see the sun.
Oh man.
Yeah. But oh well. It's nice to see it. It looks like it was an act of God. You just lit up there.
Well, I look right out here at the Great Divide. So it's perfect timing. It's gonna go down any second.
So like your yoga videos, you piecemeal it. And
yeah.
The one that I've been sharing is the one where the hips and the pelvis and the low back is that on your website? Is there like so like if the one question I get is what happens if they have knee pain or the low back hurts, that type of thing?
Yeah,
well, get us through that.
Both those questions for sure. The knee pain is one I got really frequently too, and I kept helping people with I've got this 5-day flip, and then people would come back and say, I love that, but it was fun to watch, but I couldn't do it. And I was like, wait a minute, we have a problem.
Yes.
So I created a knee-friendly 5-day flip. Oh. And so they both have 2 days of cardio, 2 days of strength training, and a day of recovery. So some core and some yoga. But the knee friendly has no squats and lunges, which are usually the 2 most problematic, and any weight training workout typically has squats and lunges. So I avoided them. We use some ball exercises, some bridges, hamstring curls, so you can still use that lower body, but do it in a lower impact and a less stressful way on the joints. Still not so unstressful on the muscles. Is that a word?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
It is now, right?
Yes. You just make it up. You're an author.
Oh, true. Great.
Yeah.
I forgot.
Make it up. So like somebody like in their mid-50s that exercises regularly, but still getting the little pouch or the growth in their midline.
Yep.
Is that a hormonal thing or is it an individual thing or?
Well,
these are the questions I'm getting, so that's what I'm asking.
Totally get it. Most likely it's a little hormonal, especially if nothing else has changed. You're still eating well. I mean, we're in January. So if you were telling me I was fine in October, it's January 1st and look what happened, I would say, well, what happened, at grandma's house, right. And the cookies and the fudge. But any other time of year, if you're still eating well, you're sleeping well, and you're exercising, things haven't changed, then I would say probably it's hormonal, and it may be very related to sleep. Sometimes you find that they're not sleeping, and then simultaneously that little bit of belly fat, comes in, and weight may be fine. That may not be the problem. It's just things are shifting, or they're softer, in places where, that wasn't there last year. It's not the way it was. And so definitely it's hormonal, probably a combination of cortisol and insulin, and they team up when estrogen goes down, during menopause and as you go deeper into menopause, for sure. But there are things you can do.
And that's on your website, correct?
Absolutely. Yes.
So I'm really trying to get people to go to you as a resource.
Fantastic.
So my client base is like my age, maybe not your age. So they're having these issues, and I want them to be able to go and figure out, not that I can't help them, because I will, and I will help anybody, but like that person that just started exercising, I'm seeing a lot of them people because they're hurting themselves.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love the change. I just think it needs to be gradual over time. And if they can get some help from a website, like your website, what was it, flipping50.com?
Yep, flipping50.com, all words, no numbers. Yes.
Okay, cool. And they can get another resource that I know and love, then they can go forth and they can do their own thing. Somebody else
so nice.
Yes. So that's the purpose of this.
Yeah, so good. You know, Flipping 50 TV, there's a tab. So all the episodes, and then we now have 39. We've done 3 seasons. But what I've done for that is I've fielded questions literally that come in from my community, and from them every season we pick from a big pool of them the ones that are the most commonly asked questions, so that in answering that on a show, I'm going to target as many women as possible. So if you've got a question, if you're watching and it's sleep related, libido related, it's belly fat, it's whatever, cellulite, saggy skin, we covered a lot of things on that show. So you may be able to find a great resource there, and it may feel a little bit more like I'm talking right to you if that happens to be your problem.
Yeah, I can see that happening actually, and that's so cool, because you have that spirit, and I want people to know that you are the person that I hang with, and so
nice, thank you.
Yeah, so I want them to take that initiative. So cool, thank you. So what else is going on in your life? Tell me what else you got going on.
Well, wow, okay. This time of year I have to bite my tongue. Not the flood. Don't talk about the flood. Okay. You know what's on my mind today. Okay, right.
Yeah.
So good.
It never goes away.
Tony's talking about a little plumbing problem. We'll spare you the details. Okay. Yes. So anyway, boy, lots of things. I'm doing lots of speaking and lots of media appearances. We're talking a lot about fast twitch muscle fiber and how important that is to adults. And it's important to us, but it's also important if you're, working or dealing with an aging parent. So for one and the same reason, but the urgency for us is fast twitch muscle fiber we lose twice as fast as slow as we age, particularly if we're not training it. So you want to be doing strength training exercises. If you have not worked that into your routine, it's a must. It's like a girl's best friend after 50, never mind the diamonds, right? So you want to go
That's
for
good news
that
for
one.
me.
Yeah, well, there you go. I'm so sorry. What's your wife's name?
Elaine, and she's a sweetheart.
Elaine, I'm so sorry. Okay. I blew that one for you. So that means I meant that after Valentine's Day, Tony.
Too late.
Okay. So absolutely. Fast twitch for us is related to belly fat and body fat overall. So we're kind of fighting that battle right now. And getting into the weight training room is really going to change your metabolism for the long term. You got to remember that if you go and get on the treadmill or the elliptical or the bike, or you Zumba your heart away, that it's like cocaine in that you have to have another fix. It doesn't last all that long for the metabolism boost. It's good for you. Don't get me wrong. Great for your cardio, probably makes you happy if you're liking it, but strength training lasts a whole lot longer. It changes your body for a longer term. And if you're doing that all year long, by the end of the year, you're going to have a higher resting metabolism. And that's what helps us keep fat at bay and stay leaner, but also healthier, happier, stronger, being able to do the things we love with the people we love to do them with for a lot longer.
Cool. So when you say strength training, you mean weights and...
I mean weights, yes.
Yeah. Are you talking like Nautilus equipment, or are you just talking free weights, or...
Honey, you just dated yourself.
What's that?
I said, you just dated yourself.
Yeah,
Did you just
point.
say Nautilus to me?
How old? The 70s, right?
70s, early 80s. Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I trained on too.
Wow. I'm surprised you remembered that. Yeah, Nautilus. That was.
Well, I'm taking that omega-3 every day.
Yeah. Thanks for that, by the way. I will not live. Nope. Everybody disregard that. I will.
Yeah, we'll edit that out. Right.
Yeah. Too late now. It's in the world.
Yeah.
Great. So the fast twitch muscle fibers.
Yeah.
I do a lot of work with nerves. That really interests me because of balance as we age, and so if we can get somebody as their aging process on free weights or weight training, then that changes also the neurological part of it.
For sure. Yeah. And the other part of that, so strength training, I would say is number one, but it's also, even if you're older and even if your balance is compromised, we don't want you to further compromise it or put yourself at jeopardy, but doing some fast movement, agility skill type of movement. So older adults are more hesitant to do that, but hang on to something and do it. Sit in a chair and move your legs quickly. Jumping jacks, forward and back with your legs. That kind of movement also stimulates fast twitch muscle fiber so that, we all are vulnerable if you're walking on ice, right? It's a little bit slippery, or a little bit of water in the kitchen. It can happen to anybody any day. Catch your toe on a rug, and, you want to be able to right yourself and not go down. It's fast twitch muscle fibers that help you do that. And say you're driving in a car, from putting the brake on quickly, that reaction skill is fast twitch muscle fiber. So we need it our entire lives. And, we tend to start doing things slower and more controlled to be safe and maybe be cautious, but we're probably more vulnerable to injury if we don't do those fast things, because life is going to call on an agility skill one of these days. Yeah.
Yes, so true. And that's all on your website, or you?
Yeah.
So are you speaking in my area, Ohio, anytime soon?
I am not. You can invite me though. I would come.
Okay. So what would that look like? Who do you want to speak to?
I want to speak to women's groups, really are my sweet spot. Yeah. But I love to speak to corporations as well. So businesses about productivity and creativity. There's so much research about how we work, especially in the United States. So others have this a little better down than we do, but we just tend to push through, and taking those creative breaks makes such a difference in creativity and productivity.
Cool. Well, you've just been in Midwest Ohio, and I'll buy you dinner if you get up this way.
Okay.
I would suggest waiting till about March, April, though, when it thaws. Cool. So you're on a speaking gig. You're going to corporations and women's groups, and so the fast twitch fibers and stuff are on your website also, correct?
Yes, absolutely, and some exercises to help you do them. Yep.
So I'm having this live event at the beginning of March. It's a treating event. It's called Elite Success Neurology, and I'm going to promote your website. So if anybody's interested, just click the links on my Facebook page here and follow them. But you'll get more information on Debra at that live event about what she has and what she can do for you. And so we're going to use some of your videos each morning to stretch and that type of thing.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So that's how much you've helped my client base out so far. And I'm looking forward to helping more people out.
That is awesome. Well, I'm honored.
Yeah, it's a good gig. It'll be fun. So anything else you want to add?
Just wishing everybody a happy new year. I think it's really easy to get pumped up and get motivated and talk to people, but I think that the bottom line, both for Tony and I, probably is choose your action. Choose one action and decide what it's going to be. Focus on it.
So I suggest going to Debra's website, Flippin' 50. No numbers, all letters. Is that what you said?
That is correct.
Yeah. No numbers, all letters, Flippin' 50, and watching the 8 to 10 minute video on where to go first. Correct?
Correct. Yeah.
And then do something. Action is what it's at. So that's very good. So thank you very much for participating. I hope to talk to you again soon, Debra.
Thanks, Tony. Happy New Year.